chaos and nonsense will reign supreme.
Kangaroo.
Stop, Skippy! Wanna be my friend, mate? Hey, Skippy!
He was a fucking big boy
Hey,
too.
Skippy! Yeah, this is Australia, mate. There is fucking kangaroos. Kangaroos! That made me smile way too hard. Just
What's up, Skippy?
kangaroo just made me smile. Oh my god. Oh my god. You forget that they exist in the wilderness because you're
You
like...
really do, 'cause you don't see him.
Exactly!
It's like Americans are like, oh yeah, I bet you see them all the fucking time.
It's like, nah.
No.
But you've literally only got to go 5 minutes up the road and yeah, you will. It's just that, I mean, not in Sydney, probably. I mean, unless, yeah, you go to the zoo. But at least still here, you can literally find a bit of bush where there is still some natural fucking element of Australia left. I'll tell you a secret. I'm currently sitting in my car at a cemetery near my house. It's just, I guess you could call it just up the road. It's the closest, quietest place. I've actually recorded quite a few of my voiceovers here because it's fucking quiet. Don't worry, I mean, I've got dead rallies here, so, you know, whatever. But, yeah, you know, when you live with other people and you need some peace and quiet, graveyard, yay! Anyway, on to the actual reason to why I drove to the graveyard. Right, so, S is for stealing my dad's Suzuki Sierra. K, Sierra, Sierra, I drive you, yes, I dare. Anyway, my parents went away a couple of weeks ago, and yet again, I borrowed without asking my father's 95 Suzuki Sierra. And before you ask, like everyone around here does whenever they see it, no, you can't buy it. No, he doesn't want to sell it. And even if he did, you'd have to kill me and my eldest son to get your hands on it. Anyways, so he was away and it was sitting in the backyard begging to be taken out for a romp. So out romping the lil Susie went. Nothing crazy, as she is priceless emotionally and quite sought after in my neck of the woods. I liken her to a mountain goat. So this little romp took place only just down the road from where I live. Okay, that's 5 minute drive. 5 minute drive from where I live. I felt like I've already said down the road, which I generally meant, whereas this time around it's a little bit further than just down the road. Anyway, it was very tame off-roading by Aussie standards. It was a lovely little drive on a nice sunny day with some good company. Now, I'm going to throw some facts at you that you probably won't give a shit about, but I do, so suffer through them. Next year, this Susie will be considered a classic and is going to get that historic rego status she deserves. And maybe even a little resto work done to keep her ticking for another 30. Yes, 30 years. The Japanese car company Suzuki started making these little 4x4 weapons in 1970 and is still producing a version of them to this day. Depending on what country you're in, what incarnation of these little legends you would have seen on the roads or off the roads around you over the years. Mainly, you might know it as the Suzuki Samurai in the US, the Suzuki Sierra in Australia, and the Suzuki Jimny in Japan and other markets. It wasn't until 1998 that the Jimny name was carried all over the markets. Anyway, back to my story. Once we drove out of the bush and onto the tar again, it was time to disengage the four-wheel drive, something I'd had problems with doing when I'd stolen the Susie for a joyride on a previous occasion when my parents were away. The gearbox transfer case did not want to cooperate. Apparently there is currently a reason to do with the two differentials that are in it being different ratios or something, but the system my dad's got going on always seems to work for him, so it just must be me. ultimately, after trying the tricks used to get it back into two-wheel drive last time I took it out and it got stuck in four-wheel drive, I had to put my tail between my legs and call a mate who is a motor mechanic to come and help. And yes, he immediately was able to rectify the problem. Cheers, Sean. Why not just drive it on the road in four-wheel drive, you ask? Well, it's not a modern four-wheel drive and it's not good for all the components. It ain't a push a button on the dash to disengage kind of deal. You know, like the modern stuff, you've actually got to get out of the vehicle, turn the hubs on the wheels manually and use both the gear sticks inside the vehicle. Oh, shock horror. Anyway, here are more useless facts. My great-grandfather and my grandfather used to sell cars. Everything from Land Rovers to Mazdas, from the 1950s until the 1990s. And yeah, for a time, Suzuki's, including the Sierra. Maybe that's why I love this little thing. It's in my blood. That, and it's also super fucking cute and fun to drive. Slow as shit standard, but a good little goat nonetheless. Or maybe it's because in the farm in my dreams, there was always a little Sierra buzzing around. They are perfect farm vehicles, light, agile, practical, and capable. Damn it, sounds like I'm trying to sell you on how dope they are. That hadn't actually been my intention. I actually don't care whether you think it's a weird looking lump of metal and you wouldn't be caught dead driving one. Those who know their shit appreciate the Sierras. And I just wanted to share this footage because I like dicking around in the bush, and that's what this is. Yay!
Right into the parties. Bullshit.
Chaos and nonsense will reign supreme.